Selena Zito of the Pittsburgh Tribune Review joins us on the program. Selena, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am good. And by the way, I am not too proud to beg Selena. I'm going to beg you to follow me back on Twitter.
Oh, okay. I was.
Were you? Are you? Have you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I am.
All right. Will you check again?
Yeah, I will.
Can I request that Cameron would also like to be followed by you as well?
Also follow. Well, I thought I was. Oh well.
It's one of those things, and I wasn't going to say anything on Twitter because then there's like a permanent record of me begging.
That's right. Just say it on radio.
Exactly. That's
There's nobody listening at all.
Far less. It's far less embarrassing until Timothy Johnson does a Media Matters post about me begging Selena Zito to follow me back. Anyway, how you been?
Oh, just living a dream. How about you?
I'm good. All right, so let's talk about the mayor of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. This is fascinating.
Right.
This
is
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say the mayor. This is the first Republican elected in Chambersburg in quite some time, as I understand, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And he's a veteran. Young man, I forget his age, late 30s, I believe, decided what inspired him was that he saw the current mayor join up with Bloomberg's Mayors Against Illegal Guns, or whatever the alphabet soup is for that.
Yeah.
And was sort of appalled because he thought a couple of things. First of all, mayors aren't activists. They're managers, right?
Right.
They're supposed to make sure the streets are kept clean, the crime is kept in check, and that the trains run on time. And here, there's a growing crime problem in Chambersburg, and there's unemployment problems, and they're losing jobs. And what he was sort of dissatisfied with is that the mayor decided that became sort of the focal point of what his leadership management was all about, and not the problems that were happening within the town. So he then ran an incredibly grassroots effort. He went literally door to door, and every door in the town of Chambersburg, which is centrally located equidistant from Philadelphia and Pittsburgh if you go along the Lincoln Highway. And the only town burned down in the Civil War in the north. And he won the election. And, he won with a lot of hard work and, personal sort of losing his, I think he said he went through 3 pairs of shoes. And this incumbent mayor was incredibly stunned by the fact that he lost. He was, up until that point, a very popular mayor. He had run unopposed in the last election.
Really?
Yeah, and I should note that this is not the only town in Pennsylvania this happened in.
Yeah.
It also happened in Butler, Pennsylvania, which is a very blue-collar Democratic city located outside the city of Pittsburgh. And it also happened in Pottstown. So it wasn't like sort of, the only occurrence with this. This was three in Pennsylvania. And, and also Chambersburg, Pottstown, lots of hunting. Very big areas, a tradition of hunting.
Listen, I think it's fascinating. And again, I applaud these voters in these towns for going out there and standing up. I mean, it seems like a huge part of this message was keep Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania, or keep Pennsyltucky, Pennsyltucky.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was. And, sort of what happens in New York City does not apply in Main Street.
Right. Absolutely. Now, listen, I also wanted to talk to you about your piece about President Obama skipping the anniversary of Gettysburg. It's the 150th anniversary, and according to Dan Pfeiffer, the president's schedule just does not allow him, as much as he'd love to get up there, 65 miles from Washington, D.C., just absolutely
20-minute
impossible.
Helicopter ride.
Right. Yeah, it's just
throwing that out there.
It's really tough, Selena.
Well, he's meeting with he's at the Four Seasons right now, meeting with Wall Street people. Just thought I'd point that also out.
Does that make him a man for all seasons?
That makes him the 1%.
I have a theory, Selena. And my theory is that the president did not want to go give a speech that was inevitably. I mean, how could you not compare it to the original Gettysburg Address?
Well,
I think the president.
understand that.
I think the president just decided, nope, don't want any part of it.
But that even goes further to not understanding the entire point of being there. You don't have to go there to give a speech. You go there to honor the moment. Lincoln went there. He went to Gettysburg 4.5 months after the worst battle in Civil War history, and the most important one for the North. It's when the tide started to turn. The town was still sort of encased in death. There were caskets lined up against buildings in the town square, just filled with bodies. The entire place smelled of death. There were the carcasses of horses laying out in the farm fields. The first frost had not hit, so the stench was still there. He was not invited to speak. It was only an afterthought, and they only asked him to give a few appropriate thoughts. And he goes there, and he gives one of the more pivotal speeches in our entire nation's history. And he underscores the importance of sacrifice in terms of the preservation of the country. 10 sentences, 270 words, 2 minutes long. How can you not honor that? How can you go to the 50th anniversary and honor Martin Luther King's speech and not honor the Gettysburg Address? You cannot have one without the other.
What, Selena? What does a statement like this do for the president's legacy?
It only further cements several things: that they are so encased in a bubble that they are completely unaware, unwilling to try to understand what's important to the American people, and that they're fraying apart in terms of, how to lead and how to govern and how to understand what is important and what isn't. It shows that motivations of his are purely political. He used Lincoln over and over again as an inspiration for why he was running, and now he can't find the time to go. It shows that he was never truly bonded to the president, but just used it for political gain.
Is it a disrespecting of history? And in a way, does that not make it a disrespect of this, a disrespect towards this country?
It is absolutely a disrespect for his peers that went before him, and for one of the most critical, important moments in our nation's history and the preservation of the Union.
Talking with Selena.
JFK decided not to go at the last minute for the 100th anniversary. Instead, he opted to do some politicking in Texas. There was a split among the Democratic Party in Texas between Conley and Johnson, and he needed to show that up because he needed Texas to win in 1960 in the following year's election. We all know what happened in Dallas.
Yep.
It's incredibly sad that, politics are being put in front of honoring a moment.
It sounds like, Selena, you're fairly familiar with Gettysburg. Have you spent time there?
Oh, probably about 30 to 40 times a year.
Really?
I bike there, I horseback ride there, and I just go there because it's amazing.
All right, listen, I'm going to make a deal with you. If you will show me around Gettysburg, I will show you around Appomattox.
You got it.
All right,
I'm
done.
also been to Appomattox a lot, too.
What's
but
that?
Yeah, I've been to Appomattox a lot, too. But you got a deal.
All right. We'll figure out a Civil War battlefield you've not been to.
Okay.
Virginia has a lot of them. All right, listen, Selena, thank you again so much for coming on the program. Always love talking to you, and keep up the great work.
And go ahead, share me on Twitter. I'll be waiting for that.
All right, we will. Thanks, Selena.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Selena Zito joining us here on Cam and Company.